Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Jeff Kamke, and I'm an advanced holistic healthcare practitioner. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about affirmations. Hot topic, probably. A lot of you use affirmations, and I want to share with you a little brain science tonight. We're going to get a little technical. Hopefully, you can hang with me on that. I won't get too crazy, but I want to share with you a little bit about how your brain works and why affirmations might actually be keeping you stuck. Because there's some things that you need to learn that even though you use them for the positive, you want to, create more success, more abundance in your life, have better health. You're using affirmations probably to, kind of build yourself up and build more confidence, build more momentum in whatever you're trying to do. It can actually be holding you back. It may not be, but it very well could be, and I want to explain why that could be the case. So let's talk a little bit about your brain. Your brain has a conscious part of it and a subconscious part of it. So your conscious mind is up here, you're in your prefrontal cortex, and that conscious part of your brain is what you decided to hop on this Periscope, or if you decided to watch this later on YouTube or Facebook, where it will be eventually. That was a conscious choice you made. You consciously probably chose to cook dinner tonight. You consciously chose maybe what sports channel or what team to be watching this past weekend. There's a lot of things you do consciously. But what you might not realize is, and you might to a certain extent, but let's really expand on it, what goes on subconsciously. You might not understand a whole lot of what goes on subconsciously. So, like right now, I want you for the next 10 seconds to count how many times you blink your eyes. Okay? So, ready, set, go. Okay, so that was 10 seconds. I just counted. So how many times did you blink your eyes? Maybe 5, maybe every other second you blinked your eyes, maybe you did it 3 times in that 10 seconds. Well, what I also want you to note is how many times did you breathe? What was the muscle tone in your back in those 10 seconds? How many times did your heart beat in those 10 seconds? What was your blood pressure in those 10 seconds? What was your blood calcium levels? What was your blood glucose levels? See, you don't have any idea about what those things were because you were focused on one thing. That was what you were consciously focused on. But subconsciously, guess what? Your body was paying attention to all those things when you weren't. It was doing all those things. It was paying attention to the moisture in your eyes as you were blinking. It was paying attention to all whole host of things. Your immune system was doing something in those 10 seconds. Your digestive system was probably still digesting dinner tonight. It was doing something. Your hormone system was doing something. It was regulating based on good feelings or bad feelings or a variety of different things. So there's a lot going on that your body is actually doing subconsciously, whether you realize it or not. Now, there could also be thoughts that you had in those 10 seconds. Maybe like, oh, this guy's kind of weird, or what's the point of this? You could be thinking a lot of different things subconsciously. There was different thoughts that popped in your mind. And those were subconscious as well. They were keyed in from something. That you had ideas or thoughts just kind of pop in your brain from nowhere. Well, that was the subconscious. The subconscious was pulling things out that were relevant to me asking you for 10 seconds to count how many times you blinked your eyes. So there's a lot of things that go on subconsciously. So as you're trying to go for more success, you want to have better health, you want to have better relationships, you want to have more abundance, maybe material or financial prosperity in your life, whatever it is. And it could be more specific than that. I usually use those 3 broad categories because that's generally, if those 3 areas of your life are pretty good, your health, your relationships, and your finances, there's not a whole lot else that's too significant. You could say your spiritual life's in there, but I would include that in relationships. So you could say academics could be in there. You might say athletics are in there. The arts could be in there. Some other subcategories, but generally, if you're going for something in your life and you're using some different tools, because there's a lot of great tools on how you can be more successful. There's a ton of different things you can use. A lot of great books, a lot of great techniques, a lot of great mind techniques. There's a lot of like energetic techniques like the tapping, if you're familiar with emotional freedom technique, or thought field therapy is the one I use. There's a lot of great techniques out there. There's a lot of just mindset tricks to being self-aware. And when you find yourself thinking something negative, saying cancel, cancel, and bringing yourself around to the positive. But one of those many tools is affirmations that many gurus, a lot of books will tell you to use. And that's perfectly fine. If you use them, awesome. I'm not telling you necessarily to stop. I'm going to suggest you make a tweak, and we're going to talk about what that tweak is. But what I want to first get at is, let's just say maybe today is this day. You've had not a very good day. Maybe your favorite sports team lost yesterday if you're a football fan. Maybe you didn't have a very good day at work today. Maybe the boss was really getting on you. Or maybe if you're self-employed, maybe maybe didn't do the few action steps that you set for yourself today. Maybe there's just stress at home. Maybe the kids were stressful. Maybe the spouse was stressful. Whatever was going on today just wasn't a very good day. And you maybe tried to use an affirmation today. So in the middle of your crummy day today, you're like, my day is going great. My day is going great. And sometimes, for some people, that can actually work. But a lot of times, it doesn't. And the reason it doesn't is because one of my mentors, Eric Bailey, he talks about this very extensively. This is something called, there's a part of your brain that's called the reticular activating system. Big word, woo, big word. Okay, well, what that is, you can forget the big word. Just remember it's a filter. And your brain, if you're saying something that it doesn't resonate as truth with, so you're having a really bad day and you're saying, I'm having a great day, that filter in your brain is like, no, I'm not. Like, look at all the evidence that I'm not having a good day. I mean, I stubbed my toe this morning. I burnt my tongue on my coffee. I was late to work. Traffic was horrible. I walked in and the boss yelled at me. And then, my wife called and said the kids are sick at school. I'm not having a good day. Look at all the evidence that says I'm not having a good day. So then you go about trying to use this affirmation and your brain says, no, not going to fall for it. You're not having a good day. You know you're having a terrible day. Stop trying to trick me. And when you say an affirmation like that, the subconscious it doesn't even get to the subconscious because that reticular activating system filters it out. It doesn't even utilize it. Well, there's a guy by the name of Noah St. John. You might be familiar with him. And he uses a term called affirmations. So affirmations, AFFIRMATIONS. Noah St. John's is AFFORMATIONS. Affirmations. And what his distinction is using a question along with your affirmation. So it would be not, I'm having a great day, I'm having a great day, I'm having a great day. Turn it into a question. It would now become, why am I having a great day? Now, there's a key here. Now, if you're doing this kind of along with me, you might have noticed kind of a mental shift there. Because what this does is it actually engages your subconscious. Because your subconscious is just sorting information in a sense. So I got a few pieces of paper here. So as you are doing things, your subconscious is just taking a piece of data, filing it over here. Taking another piece of data, filing it over here. That's what your subconscious is doing. Well, when you actually ask a question of your subconscious, why am I having a great day? Your brain will then go and look for the file that will give it some information and give it the right answer on why is it having a great day. It will actually start looking for the data that will, well, why am I having a great day? You asked me a question. I have to find the answer. So it will start going and thinking through subconsciously like, well, what did go good for me today? Instead of thinking about all the stuff that's bad and trying to use an affirmation, the affirmations a lot of times don't stop you dead in your tracks in your subconscious train of thought. If you ask a why question, though, it will. It will put an end to whatever the negativity is, and it will start to put a positive spin on it. So you can use these affirmations in a variety of ways. The way I use them, and this is something my mentor Eric Bailey teaches me and all of his mentoring students, is to use them twice a day, at least, a minimum of twice a day. In the beginning of the day when you first wake up and at the end of the day when you're ready to go to bed. And you would go just through a list of, I usually kind of have a mixture. I kind of let my intuition guide me on what I'm going to say, what things are relevant for me for the day. And I have kind of a set of them. I have a lot of them that are just, why am I thankful for all the good things in my life? Why am I grateful for all the good things in my life? And then I have one that is, why am I receiving a six-figure income? I have, why is my wife so proud of me? Why are my parents so proud of me? I have different ones like that. I say, why Why is my skin so healthy? Why do I have such vibrant health? Why do I have so much energy? Why do I eat the right foods? Those are some of my affirmations that I use. Why do I love the people? Referring to my clients. Why do I love them so much? Why do I have such transformations amongst my students and my clients? Those are some of my affirmations. And I say those at the very beginning of my day to get myself right on the right foot. And I say them at the end of the day. So if the day's gone a little squirrely and I'm maybe in a bad mood at the end of the day, or just things didn't quite go as well as I want, it gets you back on track. But what you can also do is during the day, if you're having a bad day, and I've been doing this a lot more lately, is just in my mind thinking through these affirmations, asking myself, why am I wealthy? Why do I have an abundance? Why am I so confident? Why am I so persuasive and influencing? A lot of those different things based on what's going on in the day, I use those to help get me out of that mindset. Now, to clarify, you don't necessarily have to ask yourself, why am I having a great day? And then sit there and try to answer your own question. Your subconscious will start actually just doing this kind of in the background without you having to really pay much attention to it. Now, one caveat, you could actually sit down with a piece of paper and write the question at the top. Why am I having a great day? And you could actually sit there and answer that question, and just whatever comes to you, stream of consciousness, write it down. That is totally fine to do. You could do that. And at times I'd recommend doing that. I've done that a few times. But really, it's just a mental exercise to start shifting your train of thought. And when you start asking your subconscious to provide you with essentially the proof of whatever you want, you're going to start seeing better, faster results. So if you've tried affirmations before, or maybe you use them currently and you're just not really seeing like, hey, these are really having a profound effect on my life and being able to accelerate my success in whatever I'm going for, being able to accomplish my goals faster, try throwing in a question. Try throwing in, instead of I'm having a great day, throw in why am I having a great day? And let your subconscious go to work for you and pull out the answer that you can then start having that more momentum going forward towards your goals. So hopefully that all makes sense, because those are some very powerful things. Because here's the interesting thing. Let's go back to the conscious and subconscious part of your brain. Affirmations will work. They will work if there's enough repetition. Science has proven you need somewhere around 10,000 repetitions of an affirmation for it to go from the conscious mind and drop down into the subconscious mind back here, or the limbic system. That's a lot of times. So you'd have to write out a lot of post-it notes, a lot of sticky notes all over your bathroom mirror. You'd have to say that. How many years would it take to go through 10,000 if you were to say it a couple times a day? That's a lot of days. So why not shortcut the process and shift the affirmation to an affirmation, bypass that filter in your mind that's saying, no, I'm not successful, I'm not wealthy, I'm not confident. Bypass that. When you're using an affirmation, go right to an affirmation, and then your subconscious can go to work for you and start attracting those things in. Because see, here's the big thing. Law of attraction, if you studied law of attraction or you've tried to use law of attraction, the law of attraction signal doesn't come from our conscious mind. I mean, there's a very tiny percent that does. But the vast majority of it is subconscious. It's what those subconscious thoughts are putting out 24/7 that's attracting back in. So you want to change what you're attracting in your life. Start bypassing the conscious mind and start training the subconscious mind for results quickly. Because that's I don't talk about things that take a long time. I want results. And even these tools, you have to be consistent with them in order to see them work, because you can't just do this once and expect a miracle to happen. Sometimes it can happen, but that's not the expectation, is a one-time thing. And it's my mentor Eric uses another analogy in this instance. He says you don't go from being skinny and doing push-ups for 3 nights in a row and expect to be a bodybuilder after just 3 nights. It doesn't happen. You have to train more than that. And the thing is, most of us are trained to be very negative. We live in a very pessimistic world. And the economy's bad, and oh, look at this, and oh, look at that. And depending on what you get into, if you get into any of the quote-unquote conspiracy things, or just really seeing what's actually there and not sugar-coated or manipulated by the media, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there. So how do you not get caught up in all that? Well, you can use affirmations. That's one way to do it. But we won't go into that. It's a whole nother periscope on how do you not get in and sucked into that. But there's just a lot of negativity, and there's a lot of negativity that goes on up here from our life experience, things that we've actually experienced firsthand that adds to our own negativity. So it takes a long time to start peeling these things away. So why not use the tools that are going to get you there the absolute fastest? And affirmations are definitely one of those tools. So I would recommend incorporating this in for maybe the next month. Try it for the next month. If you're a little skeptical and saying, I don't know if this is really going to work, what do you have to lose? Try it for 30 days. Do it morning and night. Write out a list of things that you're trying to achieve. Throw in the why question. Why am I so successful? Why am I such an amazing person? Why am I so loving? Why am I so caring? Whatever you're trying to achieve in your life, make some affirmations that will help you get there. And see how it makes a difference after 30 days, because I'm pretty sure it's going to make a difference for you. It's made a big difference for me. And I know all the mentoring students that my mentor has, I know their lives are changing as well because of some of these simple principles. A lot of these simple principles aren't rocket science. It's just a matter of doing the simple things, doing them long enough and doing them consistently. That's really the big key. So I would recommend you do that. So I think it's about all I have for you tonight, is just understanding, though, that your subconscious can be put to work for you, and these affirmations will really accelerate that process. Because it's funny, I was thinking about this the other day. It's funny, if I were to ask most of you, in the last 2 days driving, have you sped? Have you gone above the speed limit? Probably everybody's going to say, yeah, I have. And there's really nothing that we perceive wrong with that too much unless we go way above the speed limit. But see, most of us are trying to get there as absolute fast as possible. Whether it's to work or whether it's to a restaurant or whether it's to, just the grocery store, whatever we're doing, whatever errands we're doing, we're usually in a rush. We're trying to get there as fast as possible. What's very interesting but when people are trying to go for success, there's this total ironic element that goes on where people don't want to go there that fast. There's this fear, either a fear of failure or a fear of success, that people just aren't wanting to go all out. They'll speed to go to the grocery store, they'll speed to go to Starbucks, they'll speed to go, get to work on time. But when it comes to having the techniques and the tools and the principles to get to success super fast, most people are like, well, I don't want to speed. I'd rather take it nice and easy, nice and slow, and if I get there someday, that'll be fine. Well, I think when we have our beliefs and the way we operate, when they're incongruent, we have issues. And so if we're all ready to jump in and just go full on and have success come to us as fast as possible, when you're at that point and you're ready, these kind of techniques will be really what will help you get there super fast. So I don't think there's too many people on at the moment, so I won't take any questions because I think the other person at the moment is actually my wife. She's watching, so hopefully she learned something tonight. Maybe I can get her on a Periscope one of these days and see what good stuff she has to share with us. But anyway, this is Jeff Kamke. I'm an advanced holistic healthcare practitioner. I like to talk about personal development. I like to talk about natural health. I like to talk about law of attraction. I like to talk about how all those things... Hi, babe, she says. Hello. I like to talk about how all those things go together because our life is very holistic in nature. I've already mentioned, we have our health, we have our relationships, we have our finances. But really, a lot of what I say, why you break it into segments or different categories, and why, when you go get an education, they break things down into categories. That's just the way we learn. But really, it's your life. And if there's any part of your life out of balance, something's not working right for you, you have a symptom, and a symptom could be you can't find your ideal mate, you have been divorced several times, or you've broken up with many, many boyfriends or girlfriends. That's a symptom. You can't find happiness. Why isn't the flow of happiness working for you? There's something interfering with it. We need to fix it. What about your finances? Do you have symptoms with your finances? Are you in debt? Do you not have an abundance of cash? Are you not financially free? Well, abundance is all around. God designed everything to be in abundance. Why aren't we living in abundance? Most of the world isn't. Well, those are symptoms. Those are symptoms of something interfering with our connection to our higher power. And, whether you call it God or nature or universe, doesn't really matter. we're designed for health, happiness, and success, and if we're not getting there, something's in the way. So what I love to share on my Periscope channel here are just some of the things that I've learned, some of my experiences, the tools I use that I've been using for about 5 years now to get this straight. Because when you get this straight, that's the biggest thing. Everything else will start falling in line. And I don't live the perfect life. I'm still working on my own goals. I might just be a step or two ahead of you in some areas, and there's probably areas you're further ahead than I am, and you can teach me. So hopefully, if you join me on my live Periscope channel, which you can find at Jeff Kamke on Periscope or Twitter, or if you want to check me out on Facebook, look for Life Enhancement Association. You'll find my fan page or my website, lifeenhancementassociation.org. You can go there. I got blog posts and link to my YouTube channel, lots of cool stuff over there. So if you want to know more about what I do, that's where you can find me. And I just hope that whatever I have to share with you benefits you. And like I said, if you have things that you'd like to share with me, make sure you're on Periscope Live, because I try to do one of these about every day. It doesn't always happen, but I try to. And I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to hear what your experiences have been on some of these subjects. And maybe we'll just do an open discussion, kind of a little mastermind one sometime once I have a few more people on regularly that want to engage, because I'm sure that will be happening pretty quick. So anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. So have a great day, everybody, or a great night, depending on where you're tuning in from around the world. And we'll look forward to talking with you soon. Thanks.